game. In other words, if you are studying the London or any opening variation, how much will that really reward you toward winning a game versus learning specific strategic methods, maneuvers, plays, or honing your endgame skills toward pocketing further points and thereby gaining rating points. The secret to chess is not moving, by the way. That is one of the little known secrets. Not moving, more thinking. See everything about your possible destination before you... I couldn't just play what I wanted to play in a position. I had to play what the position dictated. In other words, if a plan was organic to the position, it succeeded. But if I try to force my will, let's just say like the 4-move checkmate, then it cannot possibly succeed against logic. It's really all about your diet. You know, you are what you study. And if you study great players, you play great coordination on a daily basis is always going to benefit you. The problem is that right now, I believe that Ron is the better player. And nothing's going to change that. The only person that can change that is right here. If you honestly put anyone... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. Vandus of Kina. Good morning, good afternoon. I'm not sure what it is for you. It's definitely early AM for me. The time for my stream is in the bottom right-hand corner. I was having some technical difficulties.
Hey, Mr. John, welcome back.
Good morning, Yokai. How are you? Yeah, no, Wednesday mornings after billiards, even though I did not make it to billiards, it was covered. The death of Danya Naroditsky was covered on all of the major news outlets in the United States.
A dojo legend and longtime supporter of the dojo. Zalakai created and donated our amazing belt sub badges. Please go follow Zalakai and watch entertaining and educational chess content at.
And indeed, because I was heading to billiards and I was driving. It's about an hour, give or take, drive into the city for billiards on Tuesday night. I run a Team 9-ball league at Society Billiards on roughly 21st and Broadway in Manhattan. And I was unfortunately alone in my thoughts when the National Public Radio station did a little blurb on Daniel Naroditsky, and I felt the need to pull over at that moment, unfortunately. And let's put this over there. Anas, good morning. I'm going to play very traditionally for Anas. I don't do this that often, but we are going to fight for the center. Oh no, what's going on here? Something wrong with this picture. Multiple threats. Multiple threats. Do we continue? We do. We do continue. And is there a danger? I don't know that there's danger, but we will continue as though there is no danger. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Is this a threat? That's a threat. This is hanging. Not everything can be saved. Not everything can be saved.
And especially for subscribers of 52 months.
Thank you, Ron. I may need to change that one out, unfortunately. As it turns out, I may need to change that one out. Uh-oh. Something really terrible is happening here. Something not so great and possibly terrible is happening here. Do I want to do it that way? So now, is he caught? I know we can repeat this, but I don't think I have a choice. Here a check, there a check, everywhere a check, check. All right, we're going to continue with the checks. Just because this rook being attacked twice. So now, I have no more good checks, unfortunately. The next check by myself will actually put this guy in danger. Do we have the ability to illustrate a checkmate? Do we have the ability to illustrate a checkmate by pawn promotion? I don't know. Moment of truth. We are going to try. No! This guy's trying to get away. He is. He's trying to get away. Come back here. Alrighty. And this is not going to work so easily. How do I get him there? Can't let him get out. Oops. He's going after my rook. He is. He's going after my rook. How do I stop him? Darn it. I could accidentally stalemate here, so I need him on this square or that square, but how is that going to work? Oh, it's not going to work. No Rosen trophy. I'm so sorry, Anas. I was trying to figure out a way to checkmate with an under promotion to a bishop, an under promotion to a knight, or with the help of a pawn. And I don't think I had any of those with the rook's pawn, unfortunately. You also get an additional Rosen trophy for checkmating with G5 checkmate. And I just didn't have any pawns to correct my pawns on that side of the board, as it turns out. C'est la vie. Learn from your mistakes. Oh, wise guy. That wasn't proper, kosher, or anything. Keep it up, though, on us. Keep it up. We will expand our vision here to make sure that we can see it. I wish I could move these panels around. I think if I were to ask for something in the near future, it would be to be able to resize these panels and move them up. How are you, Ron? Good morning. For Vanda Skina. Vanda Skina. Where are you from? Talk to me. Vanda Skina, just subscribing on YouTube, I imagine. Yesterday, I thought that I might actually make some of the clips in the original, on the original stream from Monday. One of my students saw it and was crying. Unfortunately. What can you do? We are going without music for the time being, in a pseudo memento, the day the music died type scenario. I remember when. Uh-oh. Alexa, cancel all alarms.
There's no alarm set.
Good. I was mildly wild. Good morning, you are awesome. I have been thinking about switching to the mainstream and being a good role model. But this is also mainstream, so we're going to stay with it. Whoa! My opponent did not play bishop c4. He is a real opponent. Now we get to see whether or not I'm playing queen g5, queen d4, or perhaps even knight e7. I am going to try for this one, I believe. I think I'm going to go for this one, primarily because I don't want to trade queens so easily. And this is possibly a little bit worse for me. But we will make that call as it happens. We have knight f3, queen g2, rook g1, queen h3, rook g3, queen e6. Phase 2. My opponent has no light squared bishop. Can I go in this direction? Seems unusual. How about if we just tried to start attacking him? Will this work? And now, please help me continue my development. Whoa. Dudovich. I say, Dudovich. I did want to play this check first, but am I in trouble? Here. I don't remember if I cried when I remember about my fellow bride. So here a check, there a check, everywhere a check, check. This is pretty dangerous, I have to admit. So I'm getting a knight and a rook for my queen. We're going to live with it. We will see. Okay, so it looks like we're going in this direction. He didn't want to straighten out my pawns, which was kind of unfortunate. Let's just keep attacking. Let us just keep attacking. How many more threats can we manage? Are you threatening that? You might well be threatening that. That's a bummer. So let's see. I think we need to keep on attacking. And now he has escaped for the last time, Bobby. Wow. He's trying to get to me here. So he has this check, that check, and everywhere a check, check. We have to give him the old what for. Sometimes when you have lemons, you must make lemonade. Where was my mistake in that game? So knight to d5 was my mistake. So I had to play bishop takes and then knight to d5? Or did I need to play bishop takes f3? That's a good question. I did know that white needed to play rook takes g7 check after bishop to c5.
I think I'm way far behind.
You're way far behind? In what manner? In what manner you are awesome? I'm just trying to decide. I guess I can play rook takes, followed by rook to e8. And that way I can cover this with bishop takes f3 check. But perhaps I'm wrong. No, it doesn't like that move either. So what could it be? Just a simple doubling? Ah, the prevention of the queen moving away to threaten checkmate. Yes, yes, yes. And now after queen f2, we can actually do the other type of pin if we would like. I believe we could actually play rook takes d3. And maybe, just maybe we can get away with this.
I need more practice.
Indeed. We'll talk about that. We've not yet begun. We're going to schedule a time now, a regular time. As soon as most of these, I have a memorial service on Sunday. And I am preparing students for the National Elementary, I should say the National School Grade Championships. So it's K through 12th grade, prep school as well. Slow down, though, on us. I know this time control does not allow you to slow down, but it is much better to not move and to appreciate the process of finding a good move. In order to find a good move, you need to do a generic assessment of all things, such as where are the weaknesses, what is my worst place piece, what are their best place pieces, and perhaps even what is the opponent's big idea, just to make sure there are no threats every single move. And that way you can do a generic assessment on whether your king is safe, who has the safer king, and then forming a plan based on your assessment. And only then can you relatively choose candidate moves and continue with analysis of those candidate moves to compare. So it's all in all a very tricky thing. All in all, a very, very tricky thing. Ron, bumping out way ahead. What are you doing there, Ron? 6 minutes left. Not rushing. Pierce, 3. Oh, it even tells me the name of the opening. This opening was the Pierce with knight c3. Knight on b to d7. You are awesome. Has to stop playing this rather passive system. It is paying off for him, so it's very difficult to get him to stop. But he must stop playing this passive system in a way. It will benefit him to get out there and be extremely active with all of his material. I don't know if that was the right plan, because the bishop is still being protected. Ouch. He just lost 2 pieces in one go, and a third piece is still being attacked over there in the corner. This is not good. This is not good. So the next stage, and you said that you liked books, is to find the book, ideally, Capablanca's best chess masterpieces. Or, I'm sorry, Rubinstein's chess masterpieces. Lasker, Why Lasker Matters by Soltis. Playing through the games of really good players over the board. I am planning on... Oh no, he missed his chance for a discovered... Thank you very much. He did. He missed his chance for a discovered thank you very much on the bishop on f4. You are awesome. Let's look at this from the white side, because Anis is white. He's doing great. He's got 3 extra minor pieces against You Are Awesome. There was more that could have been found. Queen to b6 forces exchanges. Ouch. You Are Awesome. Oh no, this is us on the wrong side. I have Anis on the wrong side. I thought Anis was the one winning this game. When I flipped the board, I, for whatever reason, thought that Anis was on the other side. Never mind. We do need practice. That much is true. Queen f2 would have also been a lot faster, actually. No. There was a little bit faster of thing there. Even there, Queen f4. You Are Awesome is taking his time. Now the discovered check. All of this muscle. Basically, Yokai is working on his muscle as we speak. Boo. Boo. No style points. No style points. It should have been bishop and knight. No style points for you, sir. Should have been bishop takes c2, king c1, knight d3 style points. As it turns out. And of course, after each game, this is the important part. My games are automatically analyzed, but we don't have a rat defense. We don't have the computer analysis set to a certain extent, although we don't necessarily need it. We are white. Everything is great. I happen to like f4 in this position as well to try to lock down on this square. F4 is the top engine move. I was just checking. Because you might as well just get a grip on the center while you can. And also these 2 center pawns are more valuable than the wing pawns. So by playing f4, we're
He is
somewhat...
taking all of my pieces, lol.
Sloth Bear Anonymous.
Said.
LOL haha, my style is a red jacket haha.
Your style is a red jacket. Where are you? I'm looking for you now.
How's it going?
Jerry Goose, it is going very okay. We have a couple minutes left in this arena. We're just wrapping up with some game analysis before we go. Knight on G to F6. I prefer the move F4 on average when black is playing a supremely closed defense. Just like in the Sicilian, we want that extra control over the center rather than putting our knights in front of the pawns. And of course, black is supposed to continue in this manner, and we can actually play this way. I've done this quite often. I usually go with bishop e3, d5, and there's a little bit of a threat here with the idea of c5, but nothing too great to worry about. Now, is c5 a threat? This is what I've always been worried about, followed by d4, right? Interestingly enough, this is without fear. I see, said the blind man. So let's say this bishop, this knight moves away. Our bishop can move away. And this is the simplest, huh? Just trying to take advantage of this knight being on a funky square. CD4, knight d4. 2 pieces for the minor piece, and we have a lot to go. Alexa, turn on Dojo. There we go. Before we get too dark. Believe it or not, it does get dark around here. I also thought about making a little bit of a tweet or apology for any remarks to anyone in the past few days that I have made regarding perhaps insinuations that what has taken place was by any means a result of bigotry, discrimination based on ethnicity, anyone not being white or Russian or Catholic or based on
Pegasus
anything like that.
SWE said, "Did I get the rose points in my last game?"
Did you get the rose points in your last game? The bonus points? Let's take a look. Did you get the Rosen points in your last game? That's what he did. Let's take a look. Thank you for letting me know, Ron. So already there's a threat, and it's very difficult to stop. But the good news is we do have bishop h4 and bishop g3. You didn't really stop the threat to f2. You have to be able to play bishop h4. No. And now the world is crawling down, crashing down. All right, moment of truth. Which Rosen trophy could he be up to? So already there's a lot of stuff happening. Probably I would go with Queen f6 first, just because there is something here. He does have knight to d5 and knight to e7 check, forking the rook and the king if he needs it. But unfortunately, that's not happening just yet. See how we're relegated to this, that, and the other thing when we could have played Queen f6? Always look for a better move. When you see a good move, always look for a better move. Now, we are up so much material that this does make sense. But other moves could include bishop takes, bishop, queen takes, and then knight to d6. Knight e6, knight f4. Right? Maybe even knight f4 right away. But I don't see any substitute necessarily for just going for it.
And the obvious KB8 given by the engine.
King to b8. At least it fell. I did not look at that, but you're right. At least it fell to number 2. If it were number 1 at one point. King to b8, just to avoid knight d5, knight e7. How terribly sad, right? Is knight e6 up there? No, knight e6 is not up there. Bishop takes f3, queen f3, and knight e6 anyway. But there's no threat of knight d5. What am I looking at? What are we hallucinating about? That's ridiculous. King to b8. These engines are terrible. It's only Stockfish 17.1 with 79 megabits. Nobody can see that little thing, but okay. So knight e6, now it believes knight e6 is the best move. At least I think it is. Also, the fact that rook to g7 and doubling rooks is perhaps the best. We do not want to trade queens.
I wonder how much stronger Stockfish 18 is going to be.
Right? Oh no, touch move. All right, moment of truth. He's trying to set it up. Discovered mate? I don't know if you made any Rosen trophy points, unless there were pawn structure. Unless we have to look at all the games, which we unfortunately do not have time for. In my last game, I believe he was up for a... I don't know that there's a discovered knight check. But we'll have to find out, though, Ron. We will have to find out. By the way, Sopio is, from, if I'm not mistaken, Anish Giri's wife. right? Isn't that Anish Giri's wife? Sopio, woman grandmaster. Much of her information is not here. Let's see. Search Wikipedia. Searches the pages
Pegasus
containing.
SWE said, have you the link to Rose and P?
It's on the page, actually. It should be right on the page, right here. It has it right here. Ron Hay. Oh my gosh, you've got a lot of games, Ron. I don't know if I have time. I unfortunately do have to get to school. Let's put my phone in my back pocket before I forget. I did almost walk out yesterday or the day before without my phone, which is very awkward.
How's everything been since the passing of Danya? Wasn't sure if you knew him at all.
Pegasus SWE.
Oh, the Monday stream.
said,
I'm sorry, the
Personally,
Tuesday
checkmate,
stream.
Checkmate.
I did know him personally, and we were out and about on many occasions.
What is a
I should say
Rosenscore?
several occasions. A Rosenscore allows for a lot of fun, by the way. Eric Rosen is probably the champion of, if you're not going to become super, super good or great, you can have fun by accomplishing many of these. One of our mods assisted in the writing of this, and I would like to create a Grand Prix based on a scaled down version of this. I'm even willing to pay if it can be done. Obviously. I'm even willing to pay if it can be done. Checkmate with 0.0 seconds. Clutch pawn. I'm just going to look. Win with insufficient. Double adoption. Avoid the flag. Checkmate. Promote a pawn within 8 moves. Believe it or not, I've done that about 5 or 6 times. Can you imagine promoting a pawn within 8 moves? It takes
Sloth
5
Anonymous
moves just to get across.
Said,
Sopio Guramishvili is his wife.
Sopio. Oh, and
Pegasus SWE
not
said, and I get only my
Tkeshelashvili. Guramishvili is his wife. Thank you, Sloth Bear. Thank you for looking that up. I had the wrong Sopio. I had the wrong Sopio. In my mind's eye, I have not been the same for the last few days, unfortunately. Yeah, you can literally click on it within the tournament description of each page, and you can look it up. And actually, believe it or not, if you click on this, then you can actually look at all of the examples therein.
A
So we
dojo
should...
legend and longtime supporter of the dojo, Zalakai created and donated our amazing belt sub badges. Please go follow Zalakai and watch entertaining and educational chess content at
Zalakai and others also had, at one point or another in their streaming career, some difficulties with anxiety and facing... How do I get rid of... Okay, good. I just click on the trophies themselves. So double check checkmate. Oh, you did get one.
It
You
kinda
got
shocked me
double
how
check
many
checkmate.
random NMs or FMs that I had followed had personally met Danya. It was really cool at sea.
No, Danya was everywhere. He was a great guy. Mark Arnold and I were hanging out with him in, I think it was Baltimore National Harbor or Washington Harbor. I can't remember. One of those two. There's Baltimore. I think it was Baltimore, not National Harbor, which is actually in Washington, D.C. Baltimore National Harbor is actually in Washington, D.C. But, yeah, we were hanging out there. I did owe another person drinks. I tried to get around for all of us. I definitely had too much, but he turned in early that evening, and on other occasions, he is always a very straight-laced and brutally honest fellow. He did not like necessarily to play too many head games. He, being, as we all are, a little bit on the spectrum, we like things to be in order and play by the rules if we can. And there's no excuse for not playing by the rules. There's literally no excuse for not playing by the rules. It's to me very, very sad that it had to come to this to wake up the world. I also did a little bit of research yesterday at whatever moment.
SWE said, saw that you could search for rose points like 6 hours ago.
Oh, really? In here, you could search for Rosen points. Not affiliated with Eric Rosen. However, fill out this form. Find a bug, fill out this form. Very cool. So yeah, I haven't worked out our Grand Prix points. I'm going to have to do a test run on previous.
Said, you must change the selection before starting the search.
So should I? Oh yeah, because it had it for the all time, didn't it? Well, now I'm invested, right? 6 minutes after the hour, I am already missing the first train, which I normally get. And then the next train, let me just do a little bit of calculation here on whether or not this is going to finish before I get to where I need to go to. Wow, there's literally nobody streaming. It is the day of Danya's funeral, I believe. It is today. There is a stream by Hikaru Nakamura that is maybe 30 minutes long. I'm not sure if it's 11 minutes long or 30 minutes long, but he basically had monetized it up. And someone had called him out. Jack Sarkissian in his YouTube channel had made several critical thinking talking points about Kramnik's actions over the past year, including one post-tragedy. That is Jack Sark. Jack Sarkissian used to be a streamer on Twitch. I don't know that he's changed it, but I thought about sharing his video in tribute to Danya as he reviewed other people's comments. You know, Levy made a totally non-monetized version of his anti-Sutil Emil Sutovsky.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, I blame myself just as much as anyone because I saw it coming on Sunday. And I felt helpless and I wasn't able to do anything given my general geographic location. And I literally should have warned somebody the moment I saw that his Twitter and YouTube were being minimized, retracted, taken down, erased. The moment I saw Kramnik tweeting on how his whole world was justified because Danya was taking down his channel. And I saw that as one of the primary alerts for people with mental illness considering removing themselves from this world. If they start giving away personal belongings, if they start withdrawing in other ways, such as deleting your Twitter channel, these are key aspects of people that maybe are considering alternative solutions to their problems. Now, there's no reason to speculate on what happened, how it happened, or why it happened, but we do know that he was in a very difficult place made even far more impossible.
Did they ever give the reason for his passing yet?
No,
Or speculation?
unfortunately, everybody has speculation, but we're not going to go that far as to how, what, but we definitely know the why. We definitely know the why.
Oops, meant to say, just speculation.
Yeah. No, I don't think, in fact, usually when it is something like we unfortunately are speculating, that people don't actually give the reason for the death. But I actually feel like we should. We should actually address these things and try, for the most part, to...
Pegasus SWE said. HTTPS lichus org S0G9995E black.
One moment. Go to...
Pegasus SWE said. You get one with checkmate with a pawn.
Nice. Yes, indeed. I did get that one in at least. That one should be as valuable as G5, right? G5 pawn mate. But this was against our good friend and us, so I was trying to not necessarily focus so intently on that one for the most part. But are we going to make it? I don't think I'm going to make it, unfortunately. Not on time, anyway. But we can try.
Regardless of the reason, I have a feeling people are no longer going to even let Kramnik exist in the chess world. I reckon he won't have a good time.
Yeah, well, I hope that no one takes it into their hands to do something far worse. Pegasus, by the way, namaste. Thank you for the 52 months, in case I haven't said it enough. I did not get that one in.
Of course.
Thank you for the 52 months. I am down to the lowest number of subscribers ever, possibly. I don't even know which one is coming up if I click on my streaming, Master Chess Dojo is streaming alert. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Change.org. Let's do this one. Can I pin this one? I'm trying to figure out how to pin this one. The change.org petition to ban or revoke titles from Vladimir Kramnik. Basically, he has, and I mentioned this on Tuesday, Jury Goose, that he basically violated our terms of service, at least on Lichess, because he basically is speaking outwardly and not letting the organizing bodies do the reporting on the cheating. Basically, in Lichess, you're not supposed to say it in the chat. You're not supposed to address it with people directly or personally. You are supposed to report the person and or the games that are suspected to the governing body, in this case Lichess, and Lichess will handle the investigation. Doing so in any other way somewhat violates the principles of what we set out to do, which is being a good part of a community on the whole. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, this is a very tricky thing, obviously, but we're going to see how many Rosen trophies has. I believe that I'm up to 530. So Ron is right behind me with 400 and change. A very nice number on the whole. I am going to let it complete. And I'm actually kind of curious if one machine may find more Rosen trophies than another machine. So I'm going to run this again later on a less powerful processor to see if the number is lower on a different type of computer that cannot process, let's just say, as well as. Right, so if everyone runs Rosen trophy scores on Ron Hay, will they get different numbers than 430x? That is the question. And in honor of Ron, I actually do not mind being late to school. So, the Rosen score for Ron Hay being posted in the Discord. Hopefully it's not too awkward. Where are we? I haven't heard from Arsenal fan Richie. Has anyone seen Arsenal fan Richie or talked to him recently? He also takes these matters very, 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 very seriously. And I don't blame him. Where's our Rosen score channel? I thought we had a Rosen score channel. There it is. Our Rosen scores. I'll let Ron post the remainder because I can't quite make it big enough. I'm not sure if that's Ron Hay, but let's find out. I really dislike the fact that I can't see who is being mentioned. But I believe that is Ron Hay that I mentioned in the chat. Needless to say, I want to thank everyone for being here and for your support and for your kindness. On average, that you are definitely the light of this particular Control X. I want to cut Control X and
Have a good night.
Woody_alien. I almost misspelled him. Let's give him whomever we have handy. I appreciate all of you being here. Let's roll the ending credits. We only have one viewer. Makes sense. I did do some changes to my streaming setup. Namaste, Roken. Namaste. Cheers and ciao, everyone. Have a great day.